Hey everybody, thanks for watching. We're at the open space in Traverse City on kind of a cloudy, cool day. We're here to talk about something that's going on September the 30th and something else in general. It's the End Alzheimer's Walk.
The Walk to End Alzheimer's.
The Walk to End Alzheimer's. Maggie, first of all, give us your title.
I am the Regional Director of the Alzheimer's Association, the Greater Michigan chapter.
September 30th is the walk, and it starts and ends here.
Correct. Yep, right in this open space.
All right, so kind of explain what that event's going to be about.
So registration starts at 9, and we do a promise garden ceremony at 10, where we honor somebody living with Alzheimer's, someone who's lost someone caring for someone, and then an advocate for the disease. And we have tons of sponsors, food sponsors, fun activities, so we try and raise as much awareness as possible.
All right, let's get this out of the way. If people want to find out more about the walk itself, where can they go?
They can go to act.alz.org/TC.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Now, and they can register online?
They can. That is the easiest way to register, but you can always register on paper too if that's easier for some people.
All right, let's talk about ending Alzheimer's and dealing with Alzheimer's. You put on some things that people can go to, support groups and whatnot. Kind of explain what that's all about.
Absolutely. I go around northern Michigan and do a lot of different education programs about the 10 warning signs, communication tactics, things like that. But we also have support groups that run monthly, and some of those also run bi-monthly to help people out, especially caregivers.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you talk about support groups, I would assume that you're talking about people, families who have someone who's been afflicted, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that can be, well, I don't want to say as important, but pretty close to as important.
It is pretty close to as important because we do see a lot of caregivers' health decline because they don't tend to take care of themselves. They focus on the person with Alzheimer's.
Right, because I'm assuming it can be kind of an all-consuming endeavor.
It absolutely can, unfortunately.
Yeah, all right. So when you talk about the 10 warning signs of Alzheimer's, can you mention a few or talk a little bit about a few of them?
Absolutely. So a lot of people think that some of the signs of Alzheimer's can just be typical signs of aging, but there are big differences between some of those things. Problems with short-term memory that are actually affecting your daily life. That would be one example. Some trouble with spatial relationships. The biggest one we see is driving. A lot of people start to hit parked cars or not really focus on the whole problem-solving aspect of driving. They just focus on the one task itself.
Right.
So little details like that between typical aging and then Alzheimer's.
Yeah. Now, everyone, I would assume, has trouble with short-term memory. Like
Absolutely.
This morning, I was a little late because I couldn't find my keys.
Well, that's not quite the same thing because you remembered where the keys were later.
Right.
But a lot of people, specifically with Alzheimer's and keys, some people might have keys in their hand and not exactly know what the purpose of that object is.
I see.
So that would be a difference.
All right. Now, Alzheimer's has personally touched me. My grandfather on my mother's side had Alzheimer's, and it was tragic and sad from the standpoint that all of a sudden his life just kind of ended. I mean, he just kind of drifted away, and then it didn't end well. And that's still to this day, and he must have died 30 years ago, still bothers me.
Oh, absolutely. It's tough. A lot of people talk about pretty much mourning a pre-death loss because you're losing that person because you're watching them kind of fade away. And then it can go on for years and years. So it's very taxing on people.
All right. How can people in the area, aside from the walk, help your organization?
There's tons of ways to help. Helping to spread the word is one of the biggest things, and that's why we do this walk, to raise awareness and get the word out. We like to share about the programs and tell people about support groups. But then people can also visit our office in Traverse City or call our office. It's 231-929-3804. And we do have a great helpline too, which is 800-272-3900. And we have care counselors on the phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for people.
Do you think people know enough about Alzheimer's?
I don't. And that's why we're trying to get the word out as much as possible, make it comfortable for people to talk about. A lot of people don't really like to talk about it or admit that they're going through it. So we want to make it normal for people to talk about and encourage people to discuss it.
The Walk to End Alzheimer's, September 30th.
Correct.
Here at the open space. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, September 30th, if you wanted to do it that way. If not, look up the Alzheimer's Association here in northern Michigan. In Traverse City at the open space, I'm Vic McCarty. My News 26.